A 22-year-old Dunedin man has been given pre-charge warnings by the police because, well, he was being a clown, not just metaphorically, but literally as well. 22-year-old man was, I guess, hiding in bushes outside windows of North Dunedin, and him and a friend of his have been picked up by the police, didn't get charged, got the pre-charge warning for various activities involving having their faces covered with clown masks and carrying machetes. So, shall we say, a deadly weapon. Now, you might be sitting back there going, gosh, what's going on to our Dunedin young people? What's happening, all this craziness? Well, actually, it's something that's been going around the world since our last winter, since the Northern Hemisphere summer. And it began in America. So let's give you some context right now as to what's happening with this clown craze.
The craze actually began in the US over the summer. Sightings of clowns carrying weapons, an armed robbery at a drugstore in Michigan caught on CCTV, and clown-based social media threats led to several school districts being put on alert. That trend now also spreading to the UK. We saw an increased police presence outside this school in Essex after an Instagram post warned clowns would turn up.
So it's somewhat of a viral activity started in America. It's gone around the world, as you just heard, and what's happening now is there is some nervousness around clowns, ironically, because some people are using this craze, which is basically getting dressed up and scaring people. That's the craze. But they're using it for criminal activities. So now people aren't just associating these clowns with young people scaring one another, but they're associating these clowns with criminal activity, which is why you hear in that last story there were clown sightings. That's all it said, sightings, and warnings on Instagram. So the police turned up. It's starting to hit New Zealand in other ways as well, sort of. This is some raw footage from a robbery at a Christchurch petrol station, isn't it? Have a look at this. So there are people wearing clown masks robbing people. Now the difficulty is, if the clown craze wasn't happening, that would still be a robbery and that would still be serious. It would appear though that perhaps people are conflating the two. There is a viral activity going on where people are scaring each other like scary clowns, and there are people wearing clown masks robbing people. I guess what I'm wondering is, are the two necessarily related? i.e., is it because of the clown craze that people are getting robbed in clown masks, or are the byproduct of these clown masks being out there, people using them to cover their faces? If the clown craze wasn't happening, perhaps those same people would be using stockings to rob the petrol station, but they happen to be using clown masks as well. I don't mean the funny side of this, but one of the ironic side of this is actual clowns, people who work as clowns, are now suffering the ill effects of the so-called clown craze, up to the world's most famous clown, Mr. Ronald McDonald.
He is arguably one of the most recognized American icons.
I hope your day's fantabulous.
But tonight, Ronald McDonald is in hiding, the latest victim of the frightening clown frenzy. According to McDonald's, their red-nosed mascot is laying low, the company being, quote, mindful of the current climate around clown sightings that have now gone global.
So you can see people are mindful of the clown sightings. So clown sightings are turning people into nervous wrecks at the moment. And to me, it's a kid's craze that has got a viral element on it, that crimes are now being committed as well, that parallel. To be honest, it seems to be a bit of an overreaction to me. People are now scared of seeing any clown anywhere. It feels to me like the young people are kind of being real life trolls. A troll on the internet will purposefully annoy or scare or abuse someone to get a reaction. People are now wearing these clown costumes out in public and they're getting the reaction. It does feel like somewhat of a game. It does feel like you know what you're up for here. There's a clown out there in the public who's going to try and scare you. Unfortunately, what's going to happen in America, because America has lots of guns and they have laws called stand your ground in some states, which basically say if you feel threatened, you have the right to shoot and kill. So the next stage of this clown craze will be a 19-year-old in in Florida who scares an elderly person and gets shot to death. That will probably end this clown craze quite quickly, but I would just say and advise people watching this video, perhaps the clown craze isn't too much to worry about. Perhaps those people who are using a clown mask for nefarious situations would be doing that anyway. They'd just be using a different kind of mask, not a clown mask. And if you're a young person, can I just say, based on our 2 young Dunedinites who've been picked up by the police, if you participate in lurking around someone's windows with a machete and you think it's funny, you're probably going to have an arrest record very soon.